I'm Cal.
And I'm Stam, and this is the K.A.S.T, Cal and Stam Talks.
And I'm the voice of reason.
Wake up, fella. Right, today on the K.A.S.T, today. All the way down from Manchester, we have someone I just want to honour. I've
100.
recently been acquainted to you.
Yeah.
And it seems as we're on the same path, and we've linked up today, and we believe you got a lot to say, a lot to offer, and a lot to give. So introduce yourself. This is our guest today, Kwesi. Introduce yourself, and yeah, let's get it rolling, man.
Yeah, my name is Kwesi, from Manchester, born and raised. I'm an NHS practitioner and a private practice person-centered counsellor or therapist, as people like to call.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So obviously, you guys know what the K.A.S.T is about.
Yeah.
So you know the intro speaks for itself.
100%.
Why we've got Kwesi done. Cal?
Yeah, so first things first, I want to say Happy New Year to everyone that's obviously watching and that. Happy New Year to you lot as well. And I feel honoured to have like you on the show. You know what? To have you, because you know what? When I was thinking about it, it's like, you're coming on the show, and it's not like you're coming from around the corner. You're coming from Manny, do you get what I'm saying? So that makes you feel like people are actually tuning in with our stuff. So it's for me, it's good.
It made sense, man. And as I said, pre-recording that, just how quickly Voice of Reason just moving. I was like, next year maybe. That's what he's thinking. He goes, I think we could do this next week. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
you know what? Like, I'm glad because it's just smooth things, and you know what I mean. Already just talking with you guys, it's on the same path, you know what I mean?
No, defo. No procrastination, and it just makes it. Voice of Reason makes it.
It's a good thing going into the new year like this as well. You know?
The first thing that struck me, bro, because this is the first time we met. The first thing that struck me about you is your passion, bro. Your passion and just your way of looking at things. Like we spoke about a few things, just sitting down, getting acquainted or whatever. But what feels that like. I might be wrong, but I'm up, like you're passionate about what you do. Like firstly, I think like go into a bit more detail about what you do. Yeah. Obviously, you said your job title and stuff. And where's that passion come from, bro? Because
I think it's interesting because my family, my dad worked in the NHS. My mum was a nursery nurse, with kids and stuff like that. And like it's funny, but she's looked after some key people. Like I'm a City fan, so it was only years later she used to look after a couple of your United players and stuff like that. But just seeing her nurse coming from school, going to wait for her. My brother started off in residential social work, my middle brother. So I come from a background of caring.
So
you know what I mean? Sense. I've always seen that. And then in my line of work as well, youth worker, I was in the ministry for a couple of years as well.
Ministry, like as in church ministry?
I was in ministry for a couple of years, and then mentoring. And then it was just took this course, like a level 3 in counselling skills. And then, you know what? And I think my real passion has always been there for people. But it was in the nature of well-being and mental health that, there was a particular video I saw. I was the only black guy in the group, and the person-centered counselling founder, as you say, was having a session with a black guy in the 70s, and just some of the themes that came up from that session, I sat there and I was like, yo, and I literally said this in my head. I went, yo, there's so many guys who need to hear this. And at the time, I wasn't sure I was going to go forward and go for the proper qualification. But after seeing that video, I was like, nah, there needs to be someone like me in our area.
Yeah, no, that's
like properly.
So that was when you was doing your training. You
that's when I moved to do the training. I started working in the NHS as well. So I worked with young people from the age of like 8 to like 18 with like well-being, emotional dysregulated kids that don't know how to control their emotions, people with neurodiversity like ADHD, autism as well, because that's a big thing as well. So I worked with that, and so qualified. private practice. I do counselling, and then also set up HOMS CIC, which is a community interest company.
So is that your charity?
Okay. Yeah. That's
okay.
me.
Because when Voice of Reason showed me profile, I saw CIC. So
HOMS CIC stands for Heart on My Sleeve.
Heart on my sleeve.
So just the whole idea, you know, when you're describing someone like there's so and so, he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, I heard that.
But I actually realized that people who are inside don't represent who they are on the outside. They really shield it. So I started Heart on My Sleeve. To be honest with you, a friend of mine asked me if I could do some counselling sessions for a friend. And I could read between the lines that the person didn't have the cash to do with it. So in my head, I reasoned and said, you know what? I'm getting paid private practice. I can offset that cost and do this for free.
You know what?
So I did that. And then another person came and I clocked and I said, you know what? This is not going to be sustainable going on. And I found out about a CIC and I didn't look back, set up a CIC, got funding and then took on like 6 clients overnight. Free.
What does a CIC stand for?
It's a community interest company. So it runs like a charity and a business, but you can plug into funding.
So national run it like a business.
So national lottery, you can run projects. And me personally, I didn't realize how big that world was. It's like a best kept. It's an open secret, but I think it's a big thing, especially in the community, man. That can take guys going forward.
You say there's not much knowledge on that, innit? But now, obviously, you
100%. There's not much knowledge, but
I didn't know about it, but speaking to you.
And generally speaking, when it comes to the area of well-being, people have, you need to do it for free. But there's a cost.
Because it's your time. It's your time at the end of the day.
If you're going to do it in a room, which you need to if it's counselling, that room costs. But a CIC allows you to set up a project, get funding for it, pay the relevant people who are involved. It works. So HOMS CIC is where I'm doing a lot of work for people, especially creatives who haven't got that financial backing to do it. There's a lot of creatives in the grey area. You know, they may be artists, they may be producers, they may be actors. They've not made it. They're in a grey area, but they need that help, but they haven't got it. So why be a barrier to that? So I thought setting up this CIC could be a means of
a lot of sense.
Helping people get themselves together and then go into what they need to go into.
And you can help people without basically a loss in it. So you're helping people. So it's not like a financial burden on you as such. So go on, Stam.
So what's the process for someone? Obviously, someone's going to see it. Say it's one of our viewers needs your help. Say there's a viewer from Rani and they need the help of your... What is the procedure? What did you send you a DM? To be honest with you,
at the DM, literally right now, it's a DM. And the reason why I'd say it like that is it's accessibility right now. If it was the formal way I'm psychology today, we were talking about getting my name on other areas and platforms. But with what I've realized is as well, because I've trained at the clinical end, so I'm at the far end of, counselling clinically if someone comes to see me for help. I can always do everything in between. So I can speak to people and work out whether it is a clinical need.
So you can gauge it, innit?
Are you saying that some people could just need a chat?
Some people just need a chat and advice. And at the same time, I know I might not be the person that someone wants to speak to.
And then in that sense, you're not just wasting the person's time as well. And just like, someone could be taking someone's money and they're just doing it. They're not really.
There's an ethical thing as well.
Point them in the right direction, which is good because within, I feel like mental health, people don't really know where they're supposed to go or where to, and then you can point them in the right direction.
There's one of the things I took away, bro, is the issue of power. When someone needs help, they immediately have to become vulnerable to show they need help. So there's this feeling that many people have when it comes to therapy or counselling that, I just need to be grateful for whoever I get. Doesn't work like that, because in counselling, when we describe a counselling journey, you have to connect with the person. Exactly. So I have a consultation with everyone that comes 100%. To see me. I'm like, let's have a 15-20 minute consultation where we chat and see where we are. The person gets to hear, see what I'm about, and I'll refer on. Like in Manchester, there's other places that people can go. So but I think it's important to say on a platform like this as well that you don't have to take the first counsel that's given to you, so to speak. It's about you choosing.
So it's not a beggars can't be choosers thing.
You do have a choice. For you.
Yeah,
there is a choice.
I think if you're going to talk to someone about intimate things that no one knows, you want to at least, you can't be stressed going to the session because I don't know
and
what my
paranoid leaving.
Or worrying that, what if they, man. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable. Or what if they're judging me, or I feel like they're judging me, or they're not really.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And this is from personal example. I remember, because when you're doing counselling, they advise you to get counselling yourself.
Yeah.
So I remember going for counselling, and I never forget the conversation. She was talking to me on the phone, and she was not listening to what I was saying. I was saying, I need counselling for this. Yeah. And they're like, oh, no, I think you really need this. And then 30 minutes later, she finally understood, oh, yeah, I get what you're saying now. Okay. And then she said, my availability is kind of tight, and I was thinking, I'm not choosing you.
Yeah.
And I came off the phone, everything was fine, and I phoned the organisation back and said, I do not want that person who just did this consultation with me. Cool. Actually, I prefer this, and this. And I got the guy, and brother, the guy who I got.
Proper. Cool. Yeah, because think about it. Imagine you're opening up, being proper vulnerable,
man.
And then you're waiting for feedback, and they're just sitting there, and you're thinking, well, this is just pointless. So I've been vulnerable, and then I ain't even getting nothing back. So it makes you not want to do it again.
Yeah, and it's a very powerful. That's why I talk about being aware of the power. Someone comes to you vulnerable, and they see you as the clinician, the professional.
Yeah,
like you gotta manage that ethically. It's like, there's some people who've come to me and I'm like, this isn't for my field. Yeah. And I'll say, look, can we go a bit deeper? Because what you're saying at the moment doesn't sound like person-centered therapy is what you need. It might be this. And then you open up about something else. It's like, oh, okay, that is what I can support and help you with. Do you know what I mean? And just to reference, person-centered counselling is a counselling approach that is non-directive. So I, as the counsel, will not say, you need to do this and you need to do that. It's creating an environment where the person who comes can share, and I'll just ask reflective questions on what they've said, and from that we unpack.
So it's a safe space to just open up. It's not really aimed at maybe a particular outcome.
It can be, but here's how I describe it. Every person that speaks to me, I say, listen, when you need counselling, imagine your problems are jigsaw pieces. Yeah. And when you're struggling to deal with them yourself, it's like having jigsaw pieces in a plastic bag. Yeah. And you're taking one piece out at a time trying to get the puzzle together. So it's impossible. Yeah. What you do is, in counselling, is pouring all the pieces onto a table and turning the pieces right side up. Yeah. And then you decide how you want to do the jigsaw. Some people start from the corners. Yeah. Some people start from the main middle part. Some people start from the most obscure. But there's no pressure for the person coming on where they want to start. Yeah. Wow. So a lot of guys are like, I got too much things going on, man. I don't know where to start. And I'm like, well, 50% of it you're here. No, it doesn't matter where we're going to start. The jigsaw piece puzzle is going to be complete one way or the other. Yeah. And that helps a lot of people psychologically get over that. I've got too much issues going on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it sounds like a really good place to start.
Yeah.
So just for the viewers, can you differentiate? So you put this person-centered counselling, and what other types of counselling are there? Just so we can get
there's the psychotherapist. So there's CBT. So for people who are struggling with what is it? I get this word.
Recurring patterns.
Patterns, intrusive thoughts. Where it's like it's a sessions that you have that to break that pattern of thinking. So a psychotherapist will do stuff, CBT therapy, where they will do specific things. This is the homework you're going to do this week in order to break.
Oh yeah, that's what I've. That's
you know
what I've
There's
been
grief
doing.
counselling.
Yeah,
you know, there's different.
It's all different ones.
Ways of counselling, but the fundamental is someone coming for support from someone else.
Yeah,
and I think this is really important because there are a lot of. I had this conversation with someone the other week, and I said, mental health is like physical health.
Right.
You go into a gym. Not everyone's at the same level.
Yeah.
Some people are doing calisthenics, pulling their own body weight, going through the roof,
pulling
their own body weight. They are calm. And there's the beginner who's just doing, right, I've got my book or my phone and I'm going to follow this. There's some people who have a PT.
Yeah.
And so mental health isn't one set rule. It's people are at different places.
So start with different.
So some people may have going out, seeing they've got a good circle of friends and family and they get down, they've got people to talk to, that's calm. Some people where that's not working, it may be the next steps needed is to go to someone who can create that environment for you to get everything out non-judgmental.
Yeah. Okay. So that makes sense.
You mentioned that you had to get counselling yourself.
Yeah.
What was that like? I know you touched on the first person you went to wasn't.
Bro, I'll be honest
Can you
with
take us through that? How
it was humbling, man.
Serious?
Good.
Yeah, because the reason I'm saying that is because it's as a counsellor, every counsellor. If you go, it's like someone coming to sell you something.
Yeah.
Hi, I got this thing to sell. The first question you should ask is, have you got it? Nah, I've not got it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You ain't got no experience.
Who are you giving
Well,
me
I've just learned something there.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
So for me,
Yeah.
I needed it at the time, but it was great because I learned so much about myself.
Yeah.
That I would have gone into this space less of a person to help others. Empathy is a big thing when you've gone through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You can tell the guy in the room who has empathy and who's been through things is on, the way he treats other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just that, I'm just going to have a positive slant on life. There's something, empathy and compassion is like, if something moves like, nah, I can't let this lie. You know what I mean? I can't let this slide.
Definitely.
So for me, it was eye-opening. And again, the conversation we had, the counsellor I had wasn't from my same culture.
Yeah.
I would walk past him on the street, would never think, but this guy was when it came to counselling, a G.
Yeah.
Because I came to counselling with this mindset of, I'm going to do these amount of sessions.
Yeah.
I remember second session.
Time.
Yeah, he goes,
No time.
I get the feeling that you've got all this worked out.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
You ain't got a clue.
huh? And he goes, yeah, you got the feeling that you've got all this worked out. And I was like, how has he picked this up? He goes, it's not like that, Mate, my mind blew right open now. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a ride.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was like 20 certain sessions later, still there,
Yeah.
going through
just
different
unpacking
areas,
things.
unpacking
Yeah,
things.
nah.
And that's the word I always use
Yeah,
in counselling. Like,
unpacking.
let's unpack that.
I feel-
You keep saying this, let's unpack that, and the person doesn't even realise. Wow. And I think one of the fears that people have is, what am I going to say?
Yeah,
And
that's it, isn't it?
We've had a 50-minute counselling session of one line, one expression.
Yeah.
Like, you looked away there, like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
I was just thinking this, and then before you know it, guys, we've come to the end of the session already.
The actions.
Yeah.
So I feel therapy goes fast.
Yeah.
I feel it just goes fast when I do it. Do you know what? I wanted to ask a question. Because you're in the field, obviously we're not really in the field, and we've spoke on it. And a lot of people don't really understand. Why do you think men don't really talk?
Okay. This is one of my favorite questions, right? And my answer, not to be deliberately controversial, is this. I disagree to a point with the narrative.
Yeah.
I say men are always talking.
Yeah.
What men usually do is talk up here.
Yeah. In their mind.
Talking to themselves.
Yeah.
And there's this thing I talk about in counseling where I'd say the kingdom of one. I say you're in a kingdom of one. It sounds like you're in a kingdom of one. It's like, what do you mean? If you're the only person in your kingdom, there's kind of going to be a problem because you're the only voice.
Yeah.
There's no one to kind of go, that doesn't sound right.
Contrast.
Are you
There's
sure?
Nothing to measure against.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I a lot of the times in my experience, because I'm in the field, 95% of my clients are men.
Yeah.
So if men are not talking,
yeah,
my experience is different. But I feel men are always talking. I think there's a lot of reasons why they don't talk, which is, again, I think is a deeper issue as well.
Yeah. So
do you know what I mean?
I feel like things like this and talking podcasts and even having you on here shows that obviously they do talk, because we do, but it's not really shown that they do, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You tell something, say something enough, people will take the narrative rather than what
it's media, innit?
The reality and the truth is.
What do you mean?
So it's like this. It's like I'll say this. I'll talk to people who say, oh, men don't talk. And I go, well, you can't. One of the things I think's unfair is this generalized expectation that a guy just needs to just open his mouth and speak.
Yeah, it's hard.
You get what I mean? And here's a breaking it down. Let's just give the exact example is me and you are in town. I walk with you. You've got family members with you. I see that you've got the world on your shoulders. Me saying, yes, bro, you're all right. That conversation isn't fake. It's, are you all right on a surface level because you've got your family around you, or you're like, I'm going to be brief because you got your family around you.
Yeah.
The circumstance dictated whether you spoke or not. If it's me and you on your own, brother, the other day I saw you. You had the world on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Really? I've had that experience. I saw a guy in the equivalent of Westfield in Manchester. I saw him with his kids. It was inappropriate to ask him that question with his kids. I saw him literally a day later. I said, brother, the other day, bro, did you see? Yeah, man, this is what's been going on.
Yeah.
So it's not a matter of him not talking, it's conditions.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of men, there's these expectations. Like, for example, and this is going to upset a few people, just because you're the guy's partner doesn't mean you're the right person to speak to.
Yeah. It's true.
Heavy, it's real though, because here's what happens. People say, I'm not going to go, it's another common myth. I'm not going to go and speak to a stranger. No, listen, you will speak to a stranger sometimes better than your closest because the stranger has no history.
The right one.
If I've come to you a year ago and said, bro, I'm struggling in debt.
Yeah.
And you say, yo, Patton, bail me out.
Yeah.
I'm now depressed because I've got myself in debt again. I feel I owe you. I feel I've let you down because, boy, you got me out and you said to do X, Y, Z and I didn't do it. Yeah. But the debt and pressure of the debt is crushing me. I'm not really going to go to you because I now feel shame.
Yeah, because
you may treat me well, but it's all internal.
You don't want.
But if I go to my man who's a counsellor, he doesn't know this, then I can openly say, yo, I got a spending problem. I got this problem. I got that. There's no judgment. Even though the person might not judge them, this is what's going on in the person's mind.
The thinking, innit?
So there's layers to why men don't speak. It's just not good enough to say, oh, men don't talk.
So you're basically saying a lot of the time you need the right environment, the right time, the right place, the right everything. So every circumstance dictates what a man can speak about. And sometimes the guy could maybe just, like you said, the guy with his family, he might be with his family a week. He might have even had a break to family work, whatever. But I wanted to even pick up on what did you say? You said something. We need to go back a bit, bro.
Sorry.
You know what? You're dropping so many gems and so much
100%. I'm learning just from even talking. You talking now, I've just learned so much that I can then.
This is why I said to you before. Why I think, and I'm not just saying it because I'm here. I said why I think you guys need to understand the pivotal moment that you've started these conversations is because you're doing something. You're recording something that is going to be forever documented that people can refer to. And I personally feel that we're at the stage that goes past awareness now.
Yeah.
mental health
get
awareness.
something done.
When you say we, do you mean like the culture?
Yeah, in general, just in general.
Just
society.
From the ripple effect, from going outside nationally to us here, the culture within the space of our community and background. I think it's about doing. So you're doing something now.
Get something done. So we've realized what the problem is. Now it's like, now we have to tackle the problem. Like when you said, if you have a broken leg, you don't go to the doctor and the doctor says you got a broken leg and you just go home. Yeah. It gets fixed. You get what I'm saying?
You start to think, what's the rehabilitation
so now we've
you're doing that.
Seen what the problem is. Now it's like, you know what, we need to start putting it into action and put it into practice.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and I think this is why I feel like in the mental health covers a big space. Yeah. And I already know this, which is why I do content, because not everyone, number one, is ready to go to a therapist, needs a therapist or a counsellor, or just needs some encouragement about their various things. I think the other thing that's important as well is mental health gets impacted by sometimes the small things on a repeat set of times.
Reoccurring. Give us an example.
So if someone has low self-esteem, or they have a critical inner voice that's always negative, no matter what they're achieving, you're a waste, man, you're not doing enough. You did this amount, but you're not doing enough. You could have done this better. Over a period of time, that can damage or impact a man's mental health rather than a crisis.
From a professional point of view, what exactly would that do? That actual example you gave,
critical.
What does that lead to? Like in a clinical
world, bro, there's so many
loads of things.
I think one of the biggest ones that I deal with, and in my session I call it the curse of comparison. You either, and there's two reasons why I call it the curse, because you either compare yourself for your gain or compare yourself for your shame. Most people do the latter. So I'm going to look at you and I'm going to look at all the things in you that I don't have, and I'm going to be a waste man. Or I'm going to look at you and think, look at what you don't have. I'm better than you to feel good about myself. Both is comparison and both is a delusional point of view. Because you're making yourself feel better than that person because of their inadequacy. Doesn't make you better. Or you're lessening yourself because you're comparing to someone who seems
you made a post like that, innit? About the certain pages as well where people
for example, like I said, I'm not against people doing what they're doing, but we have to be honest. Why does bad news travel more? Why is social media blowing up with bad news and slander and beef and who's against this? It's addictive. The parts of the brain that are enlightened, the same when someone's addicted to drugs. It's gambling. It's the same parts of the brain that are lit up that people involved in gossip.
That's
because what it does, it gives you. Have you noticed when someone says, "Yo, I need to tell you something"? What happens? The guy hearing goes, "What?
What's going on? Tell me.
There's a community. You know what I mean? Because it brings something.
There's a rush of feelings.
But the sinister thing behind it is a lot of people don't feel good about themselves. So let me hear what's going on with someone else
to make me feel better. Like,
so are you saying, Carl? I just cut you there. But sorry, this is so interesting. Are you saying that when people are gisting and gossiping, it probably comes from it comes from a sick part of them?
A lot of people. For a lot of people, I just have to say it as it is, because if you take away social media, a lot of people feel better about themselves by finding out someone else is not great.
So they measure how good they're doing by how bad someone else is doing.
That's like when people are tearing other people down. So people watch it and they get
Why is it? Why people spending hours upon hours on social media arguing with people they don't know about subjects that have nothing to do with them really, or
talking on them,
because it's a distraction away from dealing with yourself, and that's the biggest
masking.
Distraction,
it's a form of masking,
medicating.
I don't feel good about myself, but
so it's just another way of medicating, then just
distraction, innit?
Okay.
What is it? What's that thing we spoke about before? I can't remember. It's gonna come back to me. It's a positive. You got. I can't remember. My mind's gone.
Example, say more, and then I'll pick up it.
When you have a good feeling when you do something, like when you go gym or something.
Positive dopamine.
Like dopamine, innit? Like, but that's not.
It is that. It's a hit. But then you have to. in order to get the hit again, you have to go back to the source. And remember, it's quick. I can switch on my phone. I can do that.
Yeah.
You know, I could get the same feeling from running.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to run. It's
Yeah.
raining,
So when
it's
you
dark.
just see it,
Plus, you probably got to put in like a good 20, 30, half an hour of running, where you can just do that in 5 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And this is why I say, and something that I didn't touch on before, is about creating that room and environment for people. A lot of people, and I say this very clearly, all my life I've grown up in Manchester. Yeah. We were joking before about the sound check about giving my age. I was 50 the other day. Right?
Well, happy belated.
So so I'm an older head. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
I've never been involved in road ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Ever. I was lucky enough to have a group of friends that we never got involved in anything.
Yeah.
But if I was to say to you, if you were in Tesco and walked past a teenager and overheard a conversation of the teenager saying, yo, I know about 5 to 6 people who've been murdered, you know, you'd be like, what type of conversation? But that was our lives.
Yeah. It's
right. This is Manchester.
So you was never road.
We were never road, but this is what I learned when I was going through my therapy and my course. Because when we started talking about grief and loss, and I'm getting onto the subjects again, why a lot when we narrow it down to the culture, where this is where it starts getting peak.
Yeah.
I was never involved.
Yeah.
But after a couple of funerals, you disconnect.
Yeah. Starts becoming the norm.
It's called exiling. If you go for the clinical, what exiling is, I'm not sure if you guys are Harry Potter fans, right? So you know the Horcrux thing where he puts himself in different pieces so that if he gets killed there, he's got pieces of where else. So we exile our emotions. So as a youngster, I'd internally had enough of all what was going on, and internally and emotionally exiled my emotions. So feeling, empathy, exiled to like an island. So when I heard people died, I don't feel nothing anymore.
That's
so
I was talking
about. Protection.
You just switch yourself off just so
disengage.
You just know you ain't got to keep feeling that.
But so think about that. That's a guy who's not been, and I think a lot of people miss the fact that civilians who are not involved get caught up. Because
100%.
we have first-hand knowledge. We're not involved, but we know my man's brother or sister, and now they're no longer here. You know what I mean? And we go through life, and I realize, wait a minute, all that, the exiling, the not being, was the reason why, where there was a time to share emotion, I'd look at myself like, brother, why are you so hard? Why are you not moved? Why don't you want to go to this funeral? And it was when I got through my counseling and education, I realized, okay, this is what happened. Couldn't take anymore, so I switched off. So it's like when you come home and the TV works, but the fridge is off. And you go to the switch box and it says, the fuse came off because it said something's about to burn this place down.
It surged, didn't it? So it surged as a safety.
Short circuit it. So
there's
one part that works. There's another part that
so
doesn't.
you got like a safety mechanism and it just boots in.
So
you just switched off.
Okay, so here's my point of view. Take a guy who comes off the road, signs a record deal, hypervigilant, because man were after him.
Anxiety.
Exiled his emotions. Fight or flight. Which means his brain narrows. He can't think logically.
It's just fatigued.
And you then randomly say, yo, we're going to go to this office and meet people that you don't know who are going to be the people pushing your album deal. And the manager's wondering why he's nervous about how his new signing's going to act. I'm like, no, this guy needs to go to the sticks with his friends. We need to bring a chef. We need to give him a PT.
I'll get him
we need to give him a zone just to calm his nervous system.
Get him out of survival mode.
And then we start talking to him about what's going to happen. And this is why I go back to this overall expectation is, the man's just signed a deal. He should be happy. Footballer's just got his contract. He should be happy. It's like, you're thrusting these unprepared guys into a circumstance where usually money's there, lifestyle's
They've come out a different
environment.
Environment.
Transition period.
You're
throwing them in the deep end.
And
as lovely as it is, or as lovely as it sounds, it's still uncommon territory.
Exactly.
It's just as good as throwing a footballer into or someone outside the record deal into the roads.
Right.
Exactly.
It's
Taking someone.
So this goes back to what you asked me before. So I've sat in a room where someone's coming in, they don't know me. They're thinking, this guy doesn't know the levels of darkness I've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him like, I can go deeper than you ever dream of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got you, but it doesn't come out till further in the session.
You ain't gonna just.
And he's looking at me when he's saying things, and I'm unmoved. Like my expression's still treating him like a human being, and that goes back to why I'm saying
That's good though, because he feels that he's not being judged. That you're not looking away or starting to move
that goes
different.
back to the point where I was saying it's sometimes it isn't the people close to you. Because an expression can interpret something.
Yeah, I get like that sometimes. Or
You
even
get
you
what
can
I'm
feel
saying?
someone's energy's off even.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You
Or
get in a
someone looks
place.
at you disappointed, you're like, I wish I didn't say. And this is why I stand on what I said before, that just because you're the closest person to them doesn't mean you're the right person for this area of this thing.
Different people for
You
different
know what I mean?
things.
And you can try and break down all the stereotypes you want, but some guys don't have the time for you to talk about, well, you shouldn't be taking society's view of things and you just need to talk to me. That's a whole barrier in itself. It's like, look, I know something's wrong. I might not be the person to speak to, but here's the people you can speak to. Or you know what? Watch this episode. Watch this podcast. This is gonna help you. And this is why I go back to what I'm saying is, and this is why I've traveled down is that this can be the catalyst of a guy might never need to go to a therapist because he hears something here that makes him go, yo, do you know what? Actually, and it saves a whirl of stress. You know, I've seen one of the things he talks about communication. A guy can sit there and go, yo, I really need to improve my communication, you know. And that's setting my road that he never gets to see a person.
So he may not be toxic or he might not even be messed up. He just needs to learn how to just communicate. Just literally,
it's all about learning.
Just express himself. Just help in a healthy way.
The thing is, because these things I don't feel is that accessible. They are now, because now we're trying to do stuff, but when they're not accessible, your mind's just going to wander, and you're never going to think, you know what, my problem is communication, because who would sit down and that, you know what I'm saying, you'll think it's negative stuff or whatever, or the people around you. So for now being able to see it.
And this is why I feel like you're simplifying men too easy by just saying they don't talk. There's reasons. I gave a plethora of reasons why. For me, I've never been involved with stuff. But I have to admit, seeing all what I've seen with people I've known that are no longer here, then added on to that, seeing my mum go through losing her mum, losing a brother, so your interpretation, grief and loss is a big thing. Because we can't, you know, especially when we talk about
what time limit.
There's no time limit. Balloons and bears don't do it, man. Let's be real. Let's
it makes it worse.
Balloons and bears, t-shirts, we do that, but then no one talks about the aftermath now
when they're not there.
Of
it's the little things. It's the little things.
Christmas is coming, like, you know, men losing their mums, man, is a massive thing. You know, there's grief counselling, but I deal with people who go through grief, and there's you can't simplify it saying all men just don't talk. It's being close enough to know the reason.
You know what I said in a previous episode? I don't know if it was a video or episode. I kind of think men attempt to talk, but sometimes they might test the waters. They might say something just 100. Small, but then it's not the right. Like you said, you might get an expression, or maybe not even get the right energy that someone's. I believe men 100% attempt to talk.
But you know what? Saying about that,
100%.
I feel like that's why we're close, because we've said stuff and there's not really been any judgment. But then there's other friendship groups where you might say something and they might just laugh it off and downplay it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Listen, it's survival, man. So listen, I've done work in prisons in years back, and you're in a room of guys and they're talking. And as soon as time comes up and that door bangs, you see the mask go on. I'm not like, yo, don't go out there. Like, I know what it's about. You got to survive out there now.
Back in there, you got to deal with the people on the wing.
You got to navigate. And so here's the issue though. When people are in fight or flight, you think differently. This is physiologically, this is what happens. So here's another thing. You can't speak to a man in the moment.
Yeah. What do you mean?
So a man's stressed. His logical front part of his brain goes offline. Yeah. So all he's dealing with is emotion and instinct. And instinct says protection.
He's in his lower self.
That's why you're impulsive.
That's why you're impulsive. You'll make random decisions.
Irrational.
Listen, everyone knows the guy in the group who crashes out.
Yeah, 100.
Right? Every moment he crashes out. And then afterwards, he's got all the wisdom in the world. Nah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. What happened? What was that about? In the moment, the logical brain walked out of the door.
Switched off.
You trashed the place.
It's a stress response.
Yeah, you trash the place. The logic comes back in and goes, bro, what have you guys done? Do I need to clean this up again?
Yeah.
So the issue is like, right, some guys, it might be, come, let's go and get a food, man. And they calm down. It's like, bro, do you know what? I wasn't going to touch, but bro, this is what's going on. You've not forced it, but their nervous systems calm down.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're working with what is going on in here.
Yeah.
When I'm working with kids, it works with kids a lot as well. I work with kids, and the kid, I know the kid's self-harmed.
Yeah.
I know.
But you're not going to
So I'm like, okay, so what's happening? Yeah, I feel down. All right, so is there times you feel down that you cut yourself? Yeah. Right. Do you clean your own wounds? They're not expecting that question. They're like, how is he just moving past that so quick? I'm like, do you clean your own wounds? Yeah. All right then. Do you know when you cut yourself, do you feel better? No, you don't ask those questions.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah. Okay. Do you know what that is? Why? Because you've got no other healthy way of getting relief from the pressure that you're feeling. We're going to change that. Yeah. What I've done there is acknowledge what they do, not judge them, but told them the facts on why they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't know.
Some people who don't know that will go, no, they can't self-harm, remove everything, change all it. But that person doesn't have a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
That person who's medicating, that person who's drinking is trying to deal with something, but with no other tools to deal with it. Yeah. Exactly.
Can I ask you? You just said something. You just said, usually if someone's maybe self-harming, the people around them would try and take sharp objects.
Yeah.
What is that?
Right,
what
so
are they doing? What are the people around them doing when they do that?
Right. So here's the thing: especially for a young person, if a young person has been self-harming, that's their coping mechanism. So in our field, and this is why I acknowledge, when you're a mum and dad and you find out, or a friend, you're horrified because we relate that to someone taking a life, right? But in our world, that is that's the relief system that they've engaged with to get relief. Yeah. So that's a symptom of an issue, not the issue itself.
So the self-harming isn't actually the problem.
The self-harm is the coping mechanism. It's the end result.
It's like resorting to alcohol.
It's a byproduct of, and it's actually in clinical circles, it's like, when was the last time? Because it gives an indicator of how they're doing.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas people who are outside of that, I understand that will be panic. So when I said people like, right, we need to change everything, changing everything without putting another coping mechanism in place is just exasperating the situation and could actually push for more. Stress, So it's about saying to the parents, right, this is why they're doing it. What I'm going to do is work with the young person on finding alternative coping mechanism. So again, something I can do that can help. I'll say to parents come to me and go, oh, after school, my kids don't talk to me. And I speak to the child, after school, I know my mum wants to talk to me, but I'm too stressed to talk. So you've got, when you've got magnets that are not connecting, the more you push, the more they're repelling. So you clock that mum loves daughter, daughter loves mum. So I'll say, right,
but the stress
traffic light code. Red is don't want to talk now, but I'll talk in an hour.
Yeah.
Amber is small talk only. Green, I'm good to go. So mum will ask daughter, hey, how you doing? Red, mum. Daughter now feels mum's not going to get on my case. At least an hour. Got space. Mum knows something's not right, but she's going to talk to me anyway. Both can drive home in silence and it not be a thing.
Yeah, because mum ain't thinking there's a problem there. she knows now. She's been told, "Yo, mum, I don't want to talk in it."
Yeah, because mum wants to fix it. That's what mums and dads do. That's nothing's wrong with that. But when the child doesn't know how to communicate, it's just setting things up. I tell guys all the time, have that draw the line conversation.
Yeah.
New Year's coming, say, brother, listen, New Year's coming, right? I'm just gonna be honest with you. If I'm not doing good, I'm gonna tell you this word.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text you this.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know automatically what that is. You don't have to go into something deep. I'm just being accountable to you that this happens.
Yeah.
And I tell people this all the time. Confidentiality is earned, not entitled.
Yeah. So
older. We need.
Yeah.
Sorry
I
to
need
just
no,
bro.
You know what it is,
understand that what you just said.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Please,
Trust has to be earned.
Yeah.
This is confidentiality.
So say just the phrase again.
Confidentiality has to be earned. This is another issue why men don't speak. You're wanting me to do this with you not like. What makes you trust me?
Yeah.
How do I know you're not going to go off and start gisting about what I just told you?
Yeah.
I don't know you're not going to just not take me not serious after this. Or
That's why I posted the other day. Like, if I know if you're a gossip. I'm laughing and smiling with you, but I'm not telling you nothing.
I think that's a big thing in our community.
Yeah. Backstabbing, innit, to be fair.
Not as deep as backstabbing, but people talk, innit, yeah? And I just think that's not forget the gossiping part, it's just not knowing where to go.
Yeah.
Not knowing where to...
No, but if the person shares, they obviously have a level of trust in what they're sharing to you to know. What I'm kind of doing is, from what you said earlier, I'm kind of standing with the guy who doesn't talk and kind of advocating for him, not excusing him by saying there's a number of different levels to this not talking thing.
Yeah.
And some of them are, bro, you need to just step out of that fear you're in. But a lot of it's to do with circumstance around us. And one of the things is that trust has to be earned.
Yeah, no, it does, definitely.
I know for a fact, I've had sessions with people. Session 5 is where they go, you know what, I should have told you this earlier, but listen, I think it's right, I share this with you, and it brings a whole context to the counselling journey. Wow. I'm not like, why didn't you tell me that from day one?
Okay, it was a process.
It's a process.
And you know what, besides trusting, just getting comfortable. You might trust it, it's just getting comfortable and getting that courage to even speak or say what you need to say. My counselling journey, I said before, I used to talk in third person. I was really embarrassed. And then I was slowly let on. Just little bits. But I realised when I left the counselling session, that weight lifted off me. So eventually, I came to the point where I could just be a bit more open on it.
Exactly. Yeah. I know a guy and that's, do you know how healthy that is? Because I've seen that, exactly that. Third person conversation. I did first person conversation when I was in there. Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking? When someone's feeling like, and then you realise like, yo, and this is the thing, and this is why I'm very open in saying this. I remember in training, you have to do practice counselling sessions, and that's, let's just say that's 40 minutes into the class that we're doing it. It's 40 minutes away. From minute 1 in the class, in my head, I'm like, yo, what do I talk about in this thing? Because I can't talk about that, but I can't not be honest. Wow. My mind's going like, yo, I can't do this. Wow. You can't do that. Right, okay, I know what I'm going to talk about. Before that's 40 minutes later. You're just trying to pattern. Because I'm trying to pattern.
Find something safe to say,
My man just looked at me and went, just talk what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it from me. I know this.
I know. You know what? Yeah, I wanted to just ask. Yeah, you see, the mum and the daughter situation, the kind of traffic light system. Obviously, what is that actually called? Like that whole thing? Because you know what it is. I feel that that could help a lot of people in their lives, like just with friends. I don't know, relationships, even people with their kids. You know, like because that makes a lot of sense. Because a lot of people sometimes think there's a bigger issue, but it might be I just don't want to talk. But no one says it. So like, what is that kind of system?
If I'm honest with you, that's just come through me and my colleagues just sharing practice and talking. But it comes through getting to know people and getting to being close enough to work out. A lot of my work when it's in the practitioner role is working out what's going on. Do you know what I mean? And again, you know, a lot of people have a lot to say about neurodiversity. And I know social media has somewhat blown it up in somewhat stereotypical ways. Right. But neurodiversity, your autism, if the child's autistic, then their way of communication is not going to be as you'd expect it.
Yeah, do you know what? It makes a lot of sense.
You know what I mean? If it's ADHD, it can be moods and swings and roundabouts on when they're ready to deal
that
with
makes sense, because that is like, for me, that makes sense to me, because it's like sometimes I don't feel like talking, but I don't really communicate, and then people are trying to talk and it just gets me annoyed, isn't it? So me and my mum had a conversation like that, and my mum sometimes, bless her, sometimes I'm not in the mood and she's like, what's wrong? Like, you're always on the mood and that, but she don't understand that I might be at red right now. So it makes a lot of sense. So maybe when I go home, I'll say, you know what, this is what it is now. Like, but it makes a lot of sense, and it probably make a lot of sense for the viewers out there, because
you're right. And I think the key thing, the key denominator is you care.
Yeah.
That's why I care. That's why you're getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Why are you bothering me? You only can get really frustrated with people that you're close with. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So it's about the traffic light system, for me, is about letting that person know you're spot on.
Yeah.
There's
no issue with us. It's I'm just
dealing with just doing this. Yeah. And the more time that happens, it'll be a call. Bud, what you doing?
Yeah.
Nothing, let's just go for a drive.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
Hear music, drop home, might not even say nothing.
Yeah.
But
we're enough. Together. You're in my company, so you know
and
that
then the
it's
next
all good.
conversation is, the other day, man, thanks, man, it's sorted now, but boom, or thanks, you know what, this is what I was going through.
Totally makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's about that, but I just feel it's about just the closeness and being close enough to know someone.
So it's sounding like my initial thoughts, like a traffic light system is genius, but my initial thoughts is like, it might be a bit awkward to implement it, but then hearing you speak, it sounds like if the two people love each other, like mother and daughter, it's probably is easier than than what you would think.
But think about it, Stam. It just saves that whole heap of conversation. Imagine, for example, me and you're talking, but sometimes you rang me and I'm just disengaged in the conversation, and I'm like, Stam, I don't want to say what it is, and I'll be like, Stam, you know what? It's red right now. And you're like, you know what, Cal? All right,
it sounds
cool.
like we need the traffic light system. For the viewers, see in our cast group chat, sometimes it goes, sometimes me and E are locking horns, he's ignoring me, I'm ranting about something so flipping trivial. But to me,
think about it, it's so much easier, because I don't like explaining. Some people don't like explaining them. So if I'm like, you know what, I'm red right now, so everyone knows, we ain't got an issue. Yeah, I'm just in my head, or something's going on, or you know what, Yellow, give me 30 minutes, I'm gonna hit you back. Yeah, that's it.
100%. And I think one of the words I use a lot in terms of practice is the word practice. Yeah, we've not been told this. Yeah. So it's about practicing it. It's about checking yourself, hack. Like, what am I like when I'm moody? What do I do? What's my mannerisms like? Am I going gym? What's my outlook on life? Yeah. And when you begin to clock, you begin to realize, that's something I tend to do. Yeah. That's something I tend to do. This is what I watch. And then it's like, once you've done that and you've got someone close, you go, do you know what? When I do this, make sure you say this to me, because I got the habit of doing this.
Slipping, isn't it?
So it's basically like getting to know each other, getting to know different.
And that's why I go back with the whole thing about it. I've looked back at my upbringing, which was great, was amazing. Yeah. But there's dotted around, there's been a big impact what was going on in the area, in the community. Okay. And acknowledging how that impacted me saved a lot of guilt. Yeah. And a lot of, pain. I've had family members pass, and the first thing in my mind is logic. All right, that means it's going to be peak for the next couple of weeks, and then the funeral is going to be peak for the weeks after that, and then it's going to be a time to relief. Like, I would judge myself, like, bro, why are you thinking like that?
Yeah, you're thinking
it was survival.
Yeah.
And once I've realised that now it's like, here, someone's passed away. Right, how are you feeling about this? What's going on in real time?
Now you're responding, not just reacting to that situation.
Yeah. Because because remember this: your nervous system is designed to find threat.
Yeah.
So if in times past you've shared and it's gone left.
Yeah.
Anytime you have that feeling to share, your nervous system.
That when the adrenaline
that's a threat.
releases adrenaline in your body.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't share. And listen to this. This is important. That's involuntary. That's your nervous system. That's
you can't control that.
You're not controlling. That's your natural response.
Just kicks in.
So it's the practicing teaches your nervous system. Nah, this is actually all right. You know.
Yeah, it's safe,
Again, which is why I was saying to tell a man where talking has been. You shut up, don't say nothing in this house. You can be seen but not heard.
Yeah.
You go to school, they're not most popular in the group, so you keep quiet.
Yeah.
Relationship, you didn't really say nothing. Now you need to speak. It's like your nervous system
Never
believes that speaking is dangerous.
Yeah. Because every time you've done it,
teach it. Yeah.
Every time you've done it, it's been a negative outcome.
Yeah.
So it's like, why am I going to do that now? I've learned that this has kept me safe, kept me on the earth till this day. So yeah.
Bingo.
100%. Yeah.
Kwesi, I just need to pick up on something else you said, You said something along the lines of when you was doing your training and you had a counsellor.
Yeah.
You said something about the person maybe wasn't the same colour as you.
Yeah.
I want to go into that because there's a lot of stuff online. And even chats I've had with people, even maybe suggested counselling or whatever. And I've heard, these are the two things I want to address. I've heard people say, I want a counsellor, but he has to be a Christian. Or I want a counsellor, but he has to be black. In my head and my own experience, I think as long as the counsellor's good at what they do, those factors, they can help. They might not. I don't know, but I just want to explore that. Choosing a counsellor.
It's interesting that there's the consistent conversation within counselling circles on that. There are some people who believe it's imperative that the person connects culturally, and there's people who are imperative that in person-centered counselling, where it's coming from a human to human perspective, that it's the person in what that. My experience was the guy that counselled me was an English guy, male, and you taught to be non-judgmental. So wherever he believes in what I believe in or not, that's not going to shouldn't come through in that. Okay. We're humans, so there's internally you're thinking, whoa, that might be. But that is. But on the flip side, I think it's such a personal thing that people should be allowed to remove the barriers that would cause a hindrance. So if someone says, I'd prefer it to be someone black, so someone sees my name, they automatically think Ghanaian. Oh, he understands my culture. I've had clients come because culturally speaking, I understand the dynamics immediately based on what they're talking about.
Yeah, so it's cultural norms, isn't it?
Whereas then I've had people who are not the same culture as me and we've connected differently on different things. So there's not a right or wrong. I would say just be honest on what you're looking for, but don't place barriers in front of you to get the help that you need as well. And it's down to people's
probably just
choices.
Depends on what, if they're coming for example, a cultural, like if they're dealing with something culturally, then it might make sense to come to you because obviously you've got all the experience and you can somehow resonate with them. But I suppose everyone's been through all different stuff. So someone from a different color from me probably might have been through the same stuff as me. So we can relate on that aspect. So color don't really make a difference, or religion, because obviously you're not talking about beliefs.
As humans, that's the thing, and there's general, and that's what I'm saying. People are allowed. I want to make it clear. People are allowed to have the person that they feel, because at the end of the day, you could have someone from your same culture, same experience. You think you got the experience, you think the age, and you speak to them and it's not clicking.
You just don't connect.
And I think that's what people overlook. That you've got all that, but you've got to connect in the counselling journey. And if you're not connected in the counselling journey, then don't spend your money.
I think essentially, from what you're saying, my own interpretation is that it can help but it probably might just only help to make you feel a bit more comfortable, but it might not necessarily impact your journey with that counsellor.
Yes and no, I think, to that degree, but I think, again, I'm looking from the person who's asking. Do you know what I mean? For the person who feels that this is what it is, they've come to a place where they want to talk, which is healthy. And even if they're given stipulations on how and who they're going to talk to, I'm like, go for it, because at least you're talking at the end of the day. That's my point. That's what I would say.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Karen.
No, but as in from the clinical, what's my view on should it be or shouldn't? I've seen both work.
Cool.
So both could be right.
So wherever you're, so for the viewer, wherever you're at, if you're thinking of contemplating getting counselling, it you know what I mean? Just go on a journey. Whatever your criteria is, just follow it. But just you know what I mean? So, it can work, and sometimes it matters, sometimes it don't. And I put that out there again because I've seen so many conversations online. I've even had personally speaking to people, and they say, no, it has to be this or that. So I think it felt it was important.
Well said.
Yeah, Carl, you was going to say something?
Quick one, yeah? So, not even a quick one. You see, you said about the CIC. And, you know, I've had conversation with friends that say, oh, I'd love to do counselling, but I just ain't got the money. In regards to people that haven't really got the money, and obviously you do the CIC, how do people go about getting counselling? Because, you know, like the NHS wait times and... So
you talk about people who've maybe financially...
so
there's I can only speak for Manchester, for example. But in Manchester, I did my placement with Afro-Caribbean Mental Health Service. That's what it was. And it did counselling for people from the Afro-Caribbean community, but people outside of the Afro-Caribbean community. And they had CBT and they had person-centered, which I did my placement there. And that was free. And then there's what we do at HOMS regarding to funding. So I've got a couple of people I'm starting with in January. But it'll be about finding out what's out there. To be honest, I'm not too well versed with London, so to speak. And my CIC is specifically about well-being for communities, and also like creatives, and where there's hardly any conversation about well-being and whatever. But there are services, there's contacting places like Mind, obviously Samaritans. There's a number of contacts that you can get to get that support.
I'll do the
research. The one you just mentioned, just for your community in Manchester, because there's going to be people in Manchester that might What was, you said it was the
Afro-Caribbean Mental Health.
Okay, so that's a service they can Google?
A service.
Or like...
Yeah, they can Google. It's based at the Windrush Centre in Manchester, and based on places, they do counselling. And I've referred a lot of people.
And I was just asking, because you know what? The other day we had a conversation about Christmas, and obviously Christmas is happy time for some and hard time for others. And then leading into January, obviously we know January is a struggle when it comes to you might want to actually, after watching this, you know what, I think I might need counselling. And then the funds are the fact you're not financially able to do it, so that's what might be holding someone back. So obviously that's why I just asked a question where they could probably
I would as long as even if there's a list or whatever, I would go to your GP. I know when it comes to your CBT type services, that is a lot prevalent in the NHS. Talking therapies may not be as much, but getting yourself down would be one thing, but like I said, like even if it's for advice, you know what I mean, myself, and I know I'm setting myself up to potentially a load of people. I can only deal with what I'm dealing with, but I really feel like conversations like this and platforms like what you've got going on here are reference points for people to have an understanding of what they need. And like I'm saying, not everyone needs therapy or counselling. There may be a stage before, maybe realising some people
intervene before it.
I'm glad you said that, bro, because I've never thought of it like that.
Some people just need a chat.
Just remember the gym analogy. Everyone who goes gyms at different levels. I know you might a paddle man as well. So everyone who goes paddles at different levels.
He's the real paddler. He's the real paddler. I went one time and embarrassed myself, and I just safe.
But if you look at it like that, then you know people at different places. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
But for me, I think just with time, one of my passions though is the creative world. I'm passionate about that.
Is there a reason why though?
Yeah, because it's the wild, wild west. It's a place where your gift makes room for you, but there's no work on your character to sustain it. So you watch people crash and burn, man.
Okay, so
watch people with talent.
A lot of people could get opportunities, but don't have the capacity or
it's not help.
They ain't got the right.
Yeah,
they've got all the money and everything, but they ain't got no. They ain't got no.
And I mean, genuine
direction.
things. You know, I was at a conference the other day, and I asked the question about if someone is about to be signed in whatever capacity it is,
they should get counseled,
and they've got moments where they've got low mood, and they're not going to disclose that, because it could jeopardize whole generation wealth of their family. So they go in and they gonna do the best they can, and they get to a point where now their well-being is affecting their game performance. But we've got this whole idea that, you know, you need to just fix up, you need to man up, you know what I mean? You need to do X, Y, Z. But it's something that's going on in secret. So what happens is that guy's now acting. So you asked before about some of the things that cause mental health issues. It's pretending to be okay when you're not.
So that can
masking, innit?
That can actually have an adverse effect, acting like you're okay when you're not.
Give me an example.
Oh, go ahead.
Your knees are hurting. I go, come, let's go kick ball. But you go, I don't want him to think I'm a waste man friend, so I'm gonna go.
And then you're gonna mash up your knees. And
I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna think something's wrong. I'm like, yeah, come on, what's wrong with you, man? Let's play. Afterwards, you're going home, knees flaring, and you're vexed. You're resentful because my man asked me to come and play, but I didn't say nothing. Then you're like, but it's your fault because you didn't tell him. And I'm going to have expectations of you from the person you present. Okay. You're going to resent that after a bit of time. But if you feel trapped now, everyone thinks I'm all right.
You've built this prison for yourself.
I think it's kind of like being a people pleaser or not being able to say no, innit?
Right. So the stress behind that now causes issues because now you're getting low mood. You've been asked to go to something you don't want to go to, but you're going to go because you've agreed to it. And now you're sad because you're going to go and pretend to be, if they really knew who I was, they're not going to really check for me because I've built up this persona. So it's a trap. People are stressed with that.
It's pressures, isn't it? It's pressure.
Pressures, man.
Pressure and
this is why I keep saying now, it's the little things that you can do that can help. If you're a person who is a people pleaser with friends, take off blue tick on your text messages as a start. Oh, they've said it, they've seen it, I've seen it, I need to respond.
Respond take off blue tick. And why would they do that? What would that do? Give them time?
Because that gives them time to just
breathe. Like, you know what, let me think about this one. I did say that about the airport run.
Or people feel this pressure of, someone's messaged me, I need to respond.
Start getting, you know
people,
what,
I'll be honest, if you met someone who's like, yo, I phoned you the other day. Yeah, do you know what, man? I was just out, you know. I couldn't do that because I got things. And you're like, I know it's not like impacted on major things, but they're just cool with just not being on their phone too tough. Free people, man. They're like, they're free. And it can just start by just saying, I'm going to limit the access to me after a certain time.
Okay, so
do you know what? I feel like that. I thought I put myself in certain situations like that where I just have to reply back straight away and I ain't even got time to think. So I'm just getting myself into situations that I don't even want to do.
Just, I think one thing I've learned that's important though. Boundaries, unspoken boundaries can cause friction.
Because they don't know. They don't know they're there. They don't know they're there. They can't just set boundaries.
People don't know. People don't.
Go on.
What did I say? I said unspoken boundaries causes friction. In your mind, you've got a boundary, but the people around you don't know you've got a boundary.
It's just switched up.
And so people, you're going to continue to get annoyed because the people shouldn't just know. You need to, but it's again practice. I need to vocalize it. And I'll tell you why this is important. New year, new me. That new year, new me thing in January is strong. I'm meant to change. I'm tired of this and rare.
People get carried over. They take it too
you
far.
Don't know that they've not communicated.
It's true. Because think about it. It's like imagine, for example, I don't know. I'd set a boundary that I don't want to. I want my screen time to go down. So I'm coming off my phone at 8. But I haven't told you or the voice of reason, and you lot are messaging, and you're just thinking I'm ignoring. But these I ain't told no one this is what I'm doing.
I've upset Cal again.
I'm about to get
he's
mad.
Not speaking to me again. I've got to work out what's wrong.
But that's what I say. I tell you, it's a red day. But 100%. I totally get that. So you have to, you know what, for the people, all this new year, new me, make people aware of what the boundaries are. So they know, let them know, communicate with them, like we say, so they know, you know what, all right, cool. He's not moving different. It's just, this is the new him.
Yeah, and the reason why you asked me about my passion for creatives, the other thing is creatives don't work 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
So when I'm speaking to a lot of creatives, I never talk about work-life balance.
Yeah.
I talk about work-life harmony. And
what's the difference?
The difference is this: when you speak to about work-life balance, if you got a 9 to 5, you can plan your life before 9 and after 5.
Yeah.
If you're a creative, or if you work full time and you're a creative, the creative area usually doesn't have time. Doesn't switch off. So what I say then is, it's like a dance step. You have to have harmony. So you might have 5 back-to-back meetings next week. Mm-hmm. What you need to do is that with that busy week, you need to say, right, 15 minutes out of each of those days is going to be my time. And I say 15 minutes because it's short.
Yeah.
15 minutes out of those 5 days are going to be me time.
Yeah.
So guess what happens? Internally, you've come to balance, you've come to harmonize that this week's going to be busy. I'm not going to get to do a lot of me time, but I'm going to do me time. So guess what happens? The guilt is removed.
Yeah.
You do your 5 to 5 back-to-back meetings, but you've made time. So other people are like, man, you need to have time for yourself, you know? But they're talking from a 9 to 5 perspective.
Yeah.
But you're in a harmony perspective. And what I found is a lot of creatives go through guilt on this whole, I'm not balancing my time. You ask anyone, practice this week. What's your work-life balance like? Head down. Oh, it's not good, you know. You go, what's work-life harmony like? No, there's no like condemnation with that. It's like, oh, I hadn't heard that before. What do you mean? And it's about dance moves. It's just about moving with what's necessary.
So basically, kind of like being more in tune and feeling when you need to maybe take a little break and say, you know what, there's a
intentional. Be intentional. I've got a busy week. Out of this 5-day week, what have I got this week that's for me? Right, the end of the week, I've got it. Fine. It doesn't have to be every day. Okay. But you've got something that you know I'm intentionally putting in my diary, I am doing. I've told some creatives, diary out, do nothing hours. Yeah. So you don't feel guilty by sitting down and not really doing it.
There's not really any structure. You're just working as to your own.
There's it's the wild, wild west because you've got to earn money. You've got to do all this. There's this pressure. I've got to make it happen. I've got to hustle. Yeah. And it's a conversation I laugh about with a friend of mine. And we were talking and I said, bro, do you know that whole statement, go hard or go home? Yeah. And he was like, yeah, but sometimes you need to go home, you know, bro. Both started laughing because
it's true.
We knew what that meant. We know sometimes you can't be on 24-hour, 360 whatever days a year.
Because think about
what about a better you is going to be a better everyone else.
Yeah.
What time did I send that edit?
Free.
I swear,
I thought I even felt guilty for you.
That's a creative. That's a creative over there.
That's like
but this is what I'm saying.
Everything you just said.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm meeting one creative. I'm meeting one creative. Not one creative is the same.
Yeah.
So then it's about how you manage you.
Yeah.
So if everyone outside can look at you and say you're doing too much, but you don't know what intentional things they've put in a good way. It's like the story I give of an older speaking to a younger, and the younger says, what time do you go to? He goes, what time do you get up in the morning? And the older goes, I get up at 5 every morning. So the younger's like, yo, I'm gonna start doing that. Day 7 comes, the younger comes to the older, goes, nah, man, I don't know how you do this. 5 o'clock.
Practical for.
So the older goes, what time you go in bed? Goes like 1, 2. He goes, what time are you going, OG? Because I'm in bed by 7.
Sounds like me.
But it's a simple analogy. But 7 o'clock to 5, he can do that all day. My man's trying to template his life, but goes to bed at 2.
Yeah, he's not doing the same things.
Do it. And so a lot of people will template themselves off others, not knowing what type of life the other person is living.
There's a lot of advice out here, a lot of things out here, but people are not really. It's not really matched.
But that's what we was talking about before in regards to the people saying we didn't sleep in at 8. The market opens at 8. Do you know what I'm saying?
You can't go to sleep.
Exactly.
You ain't
again,
got time.
but we might not even be doing half of what they're doing. They might. Do you know what I'm saying? They could be going bed all.
Each to their own. What I'll say is motivation has its place.
Yeah, it does.
But I just think there just needs to be this reality that all that motivation and that hustle comes through one body. And if that body is unwell, all that goes.
Yeah.
So you've got to take care of that person. So that's why what changed my whole approach in terms of self-care was a module in my course. And the guy who's teaching, man, said this profound thing. He said, the only way you're going to do this work by being able to listen to the darkest parts of people's lives and sometimes the most upsetting is you're going to have to look after yourself. I was like, what? You're going to have to take time for you.
Yeah.
So the whole idea that I'm going to be like this went out the window. If I do what's necessary, I can be consistent and do what's necessary for the people I'm working because I'm investing in myself.
What does that look like for Kwesi though? Looking after yourself.
Yeah.
Take us
gym, hobbies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To share any?
Yeah, I like making music. Well, meet trainers was one. Make music on the side, just joke. Like for me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you make
So
beats.
that's why my name originally came. Where I put it on Insta when I first joined Insta years ago was Kwesi Beats because I was just messing about with music. I thought maybe if this happens, I can. You know what I mean? But that's it. Friends was a big one. I because if you're the strong friend, usually it's difficult to make close friends.
What do you mean?
So one of the piece of content I gave, one of the piece of content I gave said is that your strong friend's shoulders dislocated, but he'll never tell you.
You know
what I mean? In the fact that if people rely on you, you need to deliberately have people you can rely on.
You're pouring into everyone who's pouring into
you. That type of thing.
You just come fatigued and then you just start getting resentful, innit? Because obviously there's nothing there for you.
Right. So I'm aware of time. And you know, I get that from that phrase because I've been through therapy. That's the one you guys use. So I'm aware of the time now. But listen, guys, we're gonna have to wind it down. Man. Anything you wanna like just tell the audience? I know it's a bit random, but
no.
Is there anything that you didn't get to get off your chest or anything?
I would say 100% tuning into this podcast is gonna be important because you're gonna hear things about people that are closest to you that you can send this to, and that can be the start of them getting the help that they need. I really believe that. I really believe the clips, the shorts, the full length. If you're not the person that can help them, sending them this will send them the message that you care and that they're not on their own. So I really think that will be something. And if people are wanting to know more about what I do, HOMSCIC on Instagram.
So it's at HOM, so HOMSCIC on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, and have you got a website as well?
No, do you know what? How it works, a lot's going to be changing in January, but can be found on Psychology Today.
Psychology Today, is that a website? What is that, like a directory?
It's a directory of that. I'll also be going on to another one soon. But I think it's really important, like I said before, I'm at the far end clinically of what I do. And I think the steps before that, there is a lot of information out there, said mine before, but guys like this platform that are talking about conversations that especially we as men have, and I think it's going to be really profitable for you to get involved, man.
I appreciate that. When it's coming from you, proper appreciate it, man. Because
I can't wait till you do the live. That's what I'm telling you, man.
Definitely.
We'll have to definitely got to do a live.
Shout you guys, man, for real, man.
That was best performing episodes. Getting the live feature.
This was awesome. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Nice, my honor, bro.
Everything that you said has been a help to myself personally.
Thank you, bro.
And to the audience, man. I'm humbled, bro.
I appreciate it.
I've learned a lot from you, to be fair.
I'm just glad to have come, bro. Like I said, the time didn't even feel like the time coming down here because I knew what it was going to be for, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, do you know what? I'm Cal.
And I'm Stam. And this is the KAST, Cal and Stam Talks.
And I'm the voice of reason. It wasn't reason. I was taking in everything that was going on. It was orchestrated perfectly. So.
Okay.
And our special guest today.
Thank you, man. Kwesi.
Thank
you, guys.
Appreciate you again. Appreciate you coming on again, man.
Listen, this is the new year, season 2. Like, share, subscribe. Send this to your neighbor, your friend, and anyone that needs anything, any type of help, or anyone, even if you want to feel like you want to be a guest, send us a DM. Whatever, man, we're here, we're open. So yeah,
that's it. So yeah, man, that's a wrap.
Cool.
Literally.